Alright guys, for the first recipe we're going to be making a pancake sheet bake. I'm going to be using the Kodiak cakes. This is the Power Cakes Flapjack and Waffle Mix. I'm going to use a whole 1 cup of that mix. I have 3/4 cups of water. And I'm going to mix this, and then I am going to be using these toppings. We have 3 tablespoons of sugar-free Hershey chocolate chips, blueberries, banana, and strawberry. And I will show you what I'm going to do with this after I mix the pancake. Okay, I'm going to double it because I am new to making this and I thought 1 cup would be enough, but I don't think so. So we're going to go ahead and double it. So I'm going to add another cup of the mix and some more water. I will leave everything down below in the description box, so please make sure to look there for the exact measurements. Okay, so I used 2 cups of the Kodiak Cakes powder mix, and I used 1 1/2 cup water, and this is the consistency it's giving me, which I think is pretty good. Alright, I have a baking sheet with some parchment paper. I love to use parchment paper because it is so much easier to cut and the cleanup is way easier. So I lined this little baking sheet with parchment paper, and you just pour in your mixture. I'm just going to flatten this out. Now I'm going to just do sections of my ingredients. So I'm going to make one section of just like chocolate chips in that corner, and then in the next corner I'm going to layer some bananas. Alright, so this is what it looks like, and I'm going to go pop it into the oven, let it bake, and then let it cool, and we will cut it into little squares. Guys, it is done. It looks really good. I think it's perfect. It's cooled down. So now the fun part, I need to cut it in hopes it all stays together. Okay, so I wanted it to make 9 pieces and it did, so that's perfect. I'm going to go ahead and store it in a container. Let's see how it comes up. Please don't stick. Oh, perfect. Oh my gosh, yay! It looks so good. Look at that. So this one has like a little bit of strawberry and chocolate, and that's the inside. Hopefully you guys can see. Banana. Alright, next you will need some sirloin steak I will be using. I cut these up into like dice size slivers, and I'm going to be using some veggies. I'm going to do broccoli, some zucchini, I have some onion here, and some cherry tomatoes. I love putting cherry tomatoes on a baking sheet, it's delicious. I'm also going to be using some minced garlic And then to flavor everything, I'm going to be using this garlic parmesan packet. So there will be some added points if I use this, but I think it's worth it and I think it's going to be really good. So first things first, I'm going to season my steak really quick. I'm going to be adding 1 tablespoon of garlic to this. Use a tablespoon of the seasoning. A little bit of black pepper. And then I'm just going to mix it all together so that the steak has some seasoning on it as well as the veggies. This smells so good, and I've used the garlic parmesan before and it's really, really good. So I already washed my zucchini and dried it with a paper towel. So I'm going to cut these up. Okay, I'm going to spray it with some vegetable oil. I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of garlic, some black pepper, and also some salt onto the veggies. And then I'm going to take that garlic parmesan, and most likely we'll use all of it. I'm pretty sure, because I think there's only like 3 tablespoons in this packet. Yeah, so we'll use the remainder, which is about 2 tablespoons. And then I will show you what it looks like once it's all done onto the pan. And then add your steak in the middle, is what I like to do. So there you go. And then I'm just going to pop this into the oven and let it cook through. And then I will show you once it is all done. I have some sweet potatoes and red potatoes boiling. This will go with my lunch. Alright guys, these steak and veggies are done. They look incredible. Hopefully you guys can see that. I'm going to add a 1/2 cup into the Tupperware each. And then I will also save some for Joey to have. I am going to set these aside and wait for the steak and veggies to be done, and then I will put the steak and veggies into these containers. And this is the leftover of the mash for Joey. So yes, it made 5 servings total, and 1/2 cup is 1 serving. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and dish out the veggies into the containers. This smells so good. I think that garlic parmesan definitely adds a lot of flavor. That worked out perfectly. They're all 4 ounces. One's barely under 4 ounces, so I'm just going to call it 4 ounces. But this is what it looks like. So you have a 1/2 cup of your sweet potato and red potato mash, and then you have some baked veggies and some steak with garlic parmesan. This is a perfect lunch and very tasty. You guys have to try it. It's so good. So there is lunch. Right, next I'm going to be making one of my favorite dishes that I used to make before WW. I am going to make this a healthier version, and this is a shrimp sun-dried tomato alfredo pasta. So you will need some sun-dried tomatoes. I prefer to get the ones that are not in oil, just to lower the points. You will need the light creamy alfredo sauce. Just make sure to get the light so it lessens the points. I'm going to be using this protein penne pasta. This has 20 grams of protein, and I really like this brand. You'll need half of a white onion. This is a pretty large one, so I probably will be using just about half. And then a pound of shrimp. This is Key West pink shrimp that I get from my mother-in-law. So you'll just want like a medium to a large size shrimp. So in a pan, I have it on medium, and I have my pasta cooking in the back. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of butter to this. I'm going to add a tablespoon of minced garlic. So that's half, and that's another half. Okay, now I'm going to add the half onion and the 3 ounces of sun-dried tomatoes, and I'm going to cook that together. And once you cook the sun-dried tomatoes with the onions and the butter, they moisten up and they get pretty soft. So that's why I like to buy it without the oil. Okay, now that your sun-dried tomatoes and onions are cooked, you're going to take it out of the pan, and I'm going to place it into a bowl. Right, and don't clean the pan because all the flavor is still in the pan. And I have the sun-dried tomatoes and onions here in this bowl. And then now turn your heat up and spray your pan with vegetable oil. And you want to do it pretty heavily because that's when you're going to go ahead and now cook the shrimp. So get your pan pretty hot. And you don't really want them touching because that's how they get crispy. So just go ahead and do your batches of shrimp. And you will be seasoning your shrimp with salt and pepper. Alright, now that your shrimp is pretty much cooked, you're going to add your onions and sun-dried tomatoes. 1 cup of the light alfredo sauce that I'm going to just add half of that into this and then just mix it all together. Here's that 1 cup, so I'm going to add that. I had to get a bigger pot because the other one was too small. And I'm going to add the remainder of my alfredo sauce. Okay, just when you thought it couldn't get any better, I'm going to add this Italian style cheese, which I forgot to show you guys in the beginning that you need this. I'm using 1/3 cup of that. And I'm just going to mix it in. Okay, here it all is in its containers. Now, I did 9 servings with 1 cup. So 1 cup is a serving, and it made 9 cups total. Now, if you want more than a cup, you totally can alter your servings in your WW app. Okay, so I just tried it, and it is delicious. It's so good. I'm so happy that it turned out well. I was a little nervous with the light alfredo, but then once I tasted it by itself, the alfredo, I was like, okay, I think I got this. So it's really good. I'm going to go ahead and put the lids on, and this will be our dinner with a side of veggies.